Hi and welcome to VB Yoga Hub. I'm Victoria and today I have a deep stretch for lower back, glutes and hamstrings. So before we begin, could you grab a belt of some description or even a towel actually? And once you've grabbed that, we're going to sit down cross-legged with your right leg in front. We are looking to be able to sit upright. So if you feel like you're rolling onto the back of the pelvis, if you grab a couple of cushions, if you sit on them, that should enable you to sit upright. So before we actually begin our practice, let's just take a few moments to settle, mentally connecting with our body. So allow your eye gaze to settle onto one spot, or even close your eyes. And we're just going to bring our awareness to our breath. So as you sit quietly, just allow the breath to start to slow down. Breathing in and out through your nose if you can. As you breathe in, drawing breath downwards to the bottom of your lungs initially, gradually filling up from there. Slight pause. Gradual exhale and slight pause. So inhale and exhale are about 3 to 4 seconds. So I just ask that you stay with a steady breathing cycle throughout your practice today, trying to avoid holding the breath or forcing the breath at any time. So just holding in front of the knees or shins as we begin to rotate the torso around. And then the other way. Just noticing all those sensations that this movement is creating, perhaps in your lower back, your hips, anywhere. Where are you feeling it? And then coming to an upright position. So we're going to turn your chest to the left, trying to line up the center of your chest with the thigh. Placing your right hand on your knee, left hand out to the side here, and keeping the spine nice and upright on one line. You're going to tip your chest towards the thigh. So the neck is remaining in line with the rest of the spine. So we're avoiding arching the back. I'd like you to think about lifting the rib cages, collarbones, crown of head away from the hips, lengthening as much as possible as you fold. Just checking in with your breath again, staying with that steady breath. And it could be that with each exhale that you come ever so slightly deeper into the posture, but only if your body begins to soften and allows you to. Please don't force anything. And of course, your range of movement may well be very different to mine. That's absolutely fine. You're just moving yourself to the edge of your flexibility, wherever that might be. We'll simply come upright. And now thinking of your body like a rag doll. So allow the torso to just fall down towards earth. Allow your head to bow, your shoulders and arms to be heavy. You can close your eyes, come internal, just connecting with all the different sensations that are going on within your body. Softening wherever you can. perhaps the jaw, the face, the shoulders. And then slowly roll yourself up. Have a little lean back the way and simply cross your legs the other way. So we'll try that on the other side now. So we're turning the center of the chest towards the right thigh. Keep this left hand on the knee. Remember that feeling of lengthening the spine. We're just going to stay with that feeling, as if you're lifting the rib cages along the thigh. Keep coming back to the breath. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, slowly come back up to center. And once more, the torso like a rag doll. Inhale. And then as you exhale, just folding down. Rolling back up again. So we're going to untuck this right leg and bring it out long. So the legs are in a straddle, but with one leg bent here. Taking the left hand behind the head, it's as if the elbow is trying to turn upwards towards the ceiling as we side bend here. Now you could just leave your hands on the inside of this right leg, or you could tuck your palm underneath the calf. And this right leg is active, so we're flexing the foot, feeling the muscles in the right leg activate. So stay with the breath. Now it's going to be much easier for you to breathe into the right hand side of your rib cages, because that's where the space is. So stay with it. Keep reaching the elbow up and over in a rainbow shape. So this elbow is now trying to point towards the toes. Of course, it never will, but that's just the direction that it's going in. And then release the hand, and we're going to just point those fingers towards the toes. And this left shoulder here, it's turning upwards towards the ceiling. As you do that, I reckon you're going to feel it a little bit more in this side bend. And then up you come to center. Cross your legs. I'm going to untuck this left one now. Take that one out long. So have a little shuffle so you've got equal weight on the sit bones to start with. And let's begin. So activating the leg. So you're going to, if you flex your foot enough, it feels like that heel lifts off the floor. And it feels like the back of the knee is pushing downwards into the mat. Okay, so let's go with this side bend. Now, as you're rainbowing the elbow over towards the foot, these rib cages on the left-hand side, it's as if they're pushing in towards the spine. So we're not collapsing into it. It's a lift and over. Are you tucking the left hand, or are you just lying it on the inside of the leg? You choose. Remember, breath, it's going to be on the right side. You're going to get more space in the lungs on the right side just now. Let's bring this arm along now, pointing the toes, fingers even towards the toes, and just check that this right shoulder is turning towards the ceiling. And then roll that shoulder in front to come out. Okay, so please grab your belt. Now we're gonna hook it around both feet into staff pose here. So wander your hands down as far as you can towards the feet. Again, the legs are activated here, so feet are flexing, backs of knees pushing in towards the mat. And we're going to come to this straight, long spine feeling again. So the collarbones are lifting up away from the hips, keeping the neck in line with the rest of the spine. And we're going to gradually fold with each exhale. So think about the belly button coming towards the thighs. There is a tendency to think about the head coming towards the shins and rounding the back. But for the purpose of what I'm trying to achieve just now, which is trying to lengthen into the lower back through the glutes and into the hamstrings, please keep your spine as straight as possible as described earlier, and dropping the belly button towards the thighs, closing the gap between belly button and thighs. You can wander your hands up the belt. Again, we're going to use the exhale as the softener for the body. So think of it as an internal sighing sensation for the body. And if the body does soften and allows you to move into space, into the space it creates, go for it. But like I said earlier, please don't force it. Now, once you get to your maximum range of movement, I want you to make a mental note of what that is, whereabouts you are, because we're going to come back to this at the ends and see if your range of movement has changed. Okay, so we can let that go just now. So sitting tall again. Bring your right foot close to the hip, step it over the left leg, and then pull the foot back towards the hips. Sit tall, left arm grabs the thigh, right arm behind. I'm going to pull the thigh towards the chest tightly as we turn the shoulders towards this long end of the mat here. And it could be that you gaze over your back shoulder, gazing out the corner of your eye. Now, whilst this is a twist, the main focus here is pulling the leg in towards the chest to achieve a bit of a stretch on the outside of the hip here. So I hope you can feel that. To intensify, if you wish, there's a feeling of pushing the sit bone into the mat, pulling the thigh closer to the chest. Okay, release. We're going to intensify a little bit. So come out of the twisted position. We're going to hold the lower leg with the arm. So it could be that you cradle the lower leg. Okay, or it could be that you just manage to hold it like this, whatever. Doesn't matter. But wherever you are, we're going to attempt to lift the collarbones up away from the hips again. It's as if you're bringing the sternum towards the calf as much as possible. And then have a think about activating this left leg again. Feel free to have a little move around with the leg. You're just exploring where your body requires to be in this moment. If you hit a spot that's particularly satisfying, you might just want to hang out there. Or just keep moving around. And now just holding the foot. Pushing the foot towards that short end of the mat there. Now, leg could be bent, or you could work it towards being straight or straight-ish, depending what your level of flexibility is in this part of your body. But think about bringing the chest close to the thigh. It's that feeling of pulling the sternum forward again. And if you feel like you're gripping on for dear life in the face and the jaw, please try and soften that and let that sensation of softening continue down through your body. That just might help you to soften the sensations that you're potentially feeling down the back of your leg. Okay, release, let that go. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So left foot steps over, pull it back, nice and tall. Take the twist to start with, activate that right leg. So with every inhale, we're reaching up tall. With every exhale, pulling the left thigh tighter to the chest. Then come out of your twist. We're going to cradle the leg, however works for you. Soft cradle or cradling completely like a baby. And then we're going to try and lose the roundy back, pulling the sternum forward, lifting up through the collarbones. And again, feel free to move around. And you might feel very different on one side to the other. That's completely normal. We're all a little bit lopsided. And then taking hold of the foot and bring the leg straight or straight-ish. Now your option here would be to grab your belt. Okay. Does that make life easier for you? But allow you to potentially move closer to your edge of your flexibility? You choose. Softening with exhale. Closing the gap between chest and thigh. And release. Give your legs a little shake again. So grab your belt once more, and you're going to hook your belt around your right foot. Take the lie down. So activating the left leg, okay, as we have done previously. And walking your hands as close to your right foot as you can. So we're flexing the foot, pushing the heel towards the ceiling. Your leg might not be straight, that's okay. Working towards being straight or straight-ish. So I'm going to try and relax the shoulders and the face again. In fact, trying to let go of tension anywhere in the body that is not involved with this stretch. And that might just have a knock-on effect into the parts of the body that are being stretched and are active. Okay, so now hold the belt with the right hand only as close to the foot as you can, whilst keeping head and shoulders on the floor. Left hand comes out to the side at shoulder height, palm up, and allow your right leg to fall out to the side, keeping your hips level with the floor. If your hips begin to tip off to the right hand side, push out more through the left heel. Now to intensify, you're going to pull the toes towards the side of the right, head, the right hand side of the head. And point your toes of the right foot here towards the floor, turning the heel towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And we're going to slowly bring the leg across the body. Switch hands. Right arm out to the side, palm up. Now this time, as the leg comes over the body, we're going to allow our hips to turn onto the outside edge. However, keep your right shoulder on the floor. And if you want to intensify, there's this feeling of turning the toes towards the floor, the heel towards the ceiling. Okay, now soften that knee as you come through center. Unhook. You let that leg go. And give your leg a little shake. I reckon it's going to feel a little bit different to the other leg right now. So let's do the other leg now. So to start with, classic hamstring stretch. Okay, so remember we're pushing the heel towards the ceiling, walking the hands as close to the foot as you can, but keeping the upper body relaxed. That's the point of having the belt, that we're not reaching up and tensing. Okay. Activate your right leg. As always, using that softener of the exhale to help you to potentially come a little deeper into the stretch. We're just flirting with the edges of your flexibility here. Exploring the boundaries. Okay, so now hold the belt with your left hand only. Right arm comes out to the side. Allow this left leg to drop out to the side, opening up the left hip. And it's that feeling of pulling the foot towards the side of the head. Obviously, it's never going to get there, but that's just the direction it's going in. And the toes point towards the floor as the heel turns towards the ceiling. And at this stage, we're trying to keep the pelvis level on the floor. And remember, if you feel like your pelvis is tipping off to the left-hand side here, push more through the right heel. See if that helps you to secure the pelvis more level. One more breath. And then slowly does it as you come through center. So we're going to switch hands with the belt. Left arm comes out to the side. Leg comes over the torso. Allow the hips to tip. And again, you're pulling the foot towards the side of the head. But at the same time, it could be that you're rotating the leg. So internally rotating the leg, so the toes point towards the floor, heel beginning to tip towards the ceiling. All the time keeping this left shoulder as snug as you can to the floor. And it slowly does it as you come through center, soften the knee, unhook. Give your legs a little shake. Might want to pull your knees in towards the chest, have a little rock side to side. And then roll yourself up. We're going to hook this belt around your feet again. So we're going to go back to staff pose and see if we can go any deeper. It's not the ultimate goal here. It's just, it'll be interesting to see if anything has released, okay? But regardless, you've had a deep stretch, okay? So, feet activated, backs and knees pushing into the mat, spine straight, lifting up, ribs, collarbones away from hips, neck in line with the rest of the spine. And then when you're ready, with each exhale, bringing the belly button a little closer to the thighs. Try and let that exhale allow a softening sensation to wash through the body. Of course, it's going to feel tight down the backs of the legs, potentially in the lower back, but just see if you can find that softening sensation in the rest of the body. If you walk the hands up the belt, it might be that you even hold the feet at this stage. Keep it coming. And then just checking in with your body. What do you think? Do you think you have come any deeper in the fold or not? Let's stay a few more breaths. And release. Slowly roll up. Put your feet flat on the floor again. And we're just going to have a little hug, knees into the chest. A little rock side to side. And then rolling back up. So, taking a few moments to tune in with how your body's feeling after a deep stretch into your lower back, glutes, hamstrings. And let's be grateful for giving ourselves this precious time today to honour your bodies with the practice of yoga. Last breath in, arms sweeping overhead to prayer. Exhale, hands to heart. Namaste.